Hey guys, I just wanted to make a quick video going over the PMD tool and how to use it. So I'm going to give you guys two options of ways that I found to use the PMD tool that worked for me. First off is using Eclipse, which is the straightforward way, but I've seen it to be a little bit unreliable. And the second option is to use the command line tool, which is going to take a little bit more work to set up, but it gives you the results right away and you don't need to mess around with Eclipse. So to start off, to give you something to run PMD on, you can actually go to the PMD source code on GitHub, download it, you can clone it or download a zip. Once you have it on your computer, you can open it up in Eclipse. So this is the first method I'm going to show you guys. To get PMD running on Eclipse, you can go to Help, Eclipse Marketplace, you can search for PMD, and you've got a few options. I recommend the PMD Eclipse plugin. This is the official one, but there's also Eclipse PMD. Once you install it and restart, you can then look at your project. This is the PMD project here. So one good example would be PMD core. So you can right click, go to PMD, and then say check code. And what that's going to do, it's going to show you it's reviewing the code. It takes a bit because there's a lot in there. But once that's complete, you'll get a violations overview, like you see here, and you can sort by number of violations, and you'll see that there's this, violation from the rule set that is there by default, and you'll see exactly where those violations are. So you can get more info and see exactly what's going on with each of these files and the violations within them. But you'll see you get a lot of results, and it's a lot to sort through. So the other option is to use the command line version. So the way that you're going to do that is you're going to go to the PMD site here and click download. And what that's going to do is download a zip file, which is going to contain the actual PMD application, the one that you're able to run via the command line. So you can view the documentation here, and you're going to need to figure out exactly how to get it running on your computer. But I followed these installation and basic CLI usage instructions, and I found that they worked really well out of the box. So basically, this code right here, when run in your terminal from the correct directory, will analyze the code the way that you want it to. So to show how I have that set up here on my computer, I have the PMD file here, the application itself that I've downloaded, and I navigated to the bin directory. I also have the PMD source code, which is what I'm analyzing with the PMD tool. So from PowerShell, if I've CD'd into the proper directory, and I'll zoom in a bit to make this maybe a little easier to read, I'm in the directory where pmd.bat is, which is this one in the bin. And then what I do is I use the D flag to say what I'm going to analyze, and I've set it to analyze PMD core. So that is in the PMD source file over here, the actual project that I've downloaded. F is the report type, and I find that the summary HTML is the best report type to use. It seems to be the easiest to process. The R is for rule sets. So by default, you can use one of the included rule sets. So this is the quick start rule set. And then the small R flag is the report that's going to be generated. If you don't include the report, it just prints the information to your terminal, and it's very hard to review. So I recommend using, this command here. And if you run it, you'll see that you will get the output to the HTML file here, which is going to include a summary of the reports as well as the actual violations themselves. You can, click on this to view what the actual issue is, and you can use the information with the line number and the file to find out where the violation is coming from. So for this assignment though, it looks like you guys might be limited to a certain number of categories for the types of violations. So by default, any of these included rule sets aren't going to provide a report that uses just these violations. So one way you can make your life a little easier with reviewing the information is to view the documentation on making a custom rule set and do it yourself. It's really easy. You just copy this code into an XML file, and then you add the rules that you want to analyze there. And you can view that list over here on the list of all the Java rules. So what I've gone ahead and done is create my own rule set, which I called myruleset.xml. If I open it with VS Code here, you'll be able to see what it is. It's just that very simple example file copied in, plus a line for each one of the rules that our professor has selected for this assignment. So the God class, the data class, and so on. And now when I run with reference to this rule set, I'll only get these violations in the report. So the way that you can use that is to come over into your terminal, and instead of including the default rule set, I'll just do myruleset.xml, and then when I run it, it will run only using the rule set that I've selected. It overwrote my old version of new report.html. When I open it up, you'll see that I only have the rules in my rule set in the summary and the violations. So, if you use the same rule set that I did, it'll make it much easier to analyze the results and find, an example of a violation in the code base that then you can go and correct. I'll do my best to make sure that this rule set that I've created, as well as some of these commands, are included on Canvas. And if you have any questions, just send me a message.